young people around us in large numbers, especially in the developing countries, and they face numerous challenges. And the question today is, what do you do about these challenges? But first of all, we need to know, what are these challenges that are facing young people? Youth is defined in different ways by different countries, but I think the United Nations defines youth as people between the age 15 and 24. Many countries define youth as between 18 and 30, 15 and 36. But what's important here to recognize that these are people who are very energetic, people who have a long time to live in the world, and who are subject to changing conditions. One of the things that is happening around us is change. Change is so much, so continuous, that it's really very difficult for people to plan, not only organizations, but even individuals in their own lives. So when you talk about young people, the challenges are different for those in the developed countries from those in the developing countries. In the developed countries, the challenges that you see today are not as many, but it is reported that the youth unemployment in developed countries is about 13%. Which is about maybe slightly less than the global youth unemployment challenge. And what does this mean? That a large number of young people are not in work. And today in Uganda, you have what we call the youth bulge. This is the large number of young people at a certain age. It is reported that possibly the people who are below 30 years old in Uganda are about 70% of the population. And those who are below 35 years old are about 78% of the population. So this is a huge population, and a large number of them don't work, they're not productive. And a large number of them are illiterate. And of course, when you also see that 80% of our people live in rural areas and 70% of our people are in agriculture, you need to get a little worried about the future of the youth, the future of young people. So what are the challenges that these people experience? What are they? What are we seeing around us in terms of the challenges that youth are experiencing? The challenges are numerous, but the first one, which is probably most important, is unemployment. A large number of people are unemployed. I know in Uganda, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, which is the official information, the official agency to provide data, talks about 5%. And of course, the way they define this is possibly somebody who wakes up in the morning, goes to dig for 30 minutes, is employed. But definitely it's true that there is a large number of Ugandans out there in the street who do not have anything productive that they are doing. The statistics in South Africa put the youth unemployment rate to about 40%. I would not be surprised if that is what we have in this country, if you define what you call unemployment. Because I don't believe people who are casual, go out into the field to cultivate for their own consumption, are really employed in that sense. Because this is 70% of the population that are in agriculture, and 80% of the population live in rural areas. Another statistic that will interest you, which defines poverty, is that less than 20% of Ugandans access electricity. So these are issues which kind of give a context for the challenges that youth face. But the most important one is that they are not employed. The other challenges which you'll find among youth is unwanted pregnancies. These are young people, the girls who come out of school, they drop out from primary school, secondary school. A large number of them give birth at the age of 14, 15, 16. And many of them will continue to give birth. And you may find by the time they are 30, they have about 10 children. Now, how do you feed 10 children? This is contributing to the poverty that we see around us. Unwanted pregnancies is not about pregnancy alone, but it's about creating poverty, and it's about issues like HIV/AIDS. If somebody gets pregnant, it means, therefore, that they could have got HIV/AIDS. And this is a very expensive disease. Of course, today, with the drugs around, it's difficult for you to identify who is the HIV positive person. But this has changed in such a way that people are not mindful about HIV/AIDS, and young people will not understand HIV/AIDS because they didn't see it. But it's a big problem. It's called a stigma, and if you get it, you'll forever be on drugs. So that's another problem that you find among young people, because they are not employed and they'll have sex, they'll have children, they'll have unwanted pregnancies, and they increase the level of poverty in the country. The other challenge which you'll find among young people, especially who are unemployed, is drug abuse and alcoholism. Alcohol gives good feeling, just like drugs. So when you're young and you try it and it gives you that good feeling, tendency is you get caught up in it. And at the end of the day, you find that somebody is addicted either to drugs or to alcohol, and this is not good for them. I always say, if you're lucky, drugs may kill you very quickly. If you're not, they may give you a permanent mental problem. So drugs, alcoholism are some of those things that are challenges within the young people. The other is theft. If you are poor and you're watching TV, you want to have a good life, what do? The consequence of poverty and unemployment among young people is people going out to steal, and this is a major problem everywhere. Of course, the other challenge is urbanization without proper planning, the growth of slums. All these are challenges that you find. But probably one of the most important things which I want to wind up with is social unrest. If you have a large number of people unemployed, without incomes, without anything to do, and they want to have a good life, possibly one of the things that they can do is go out and on the rampage and do things that you don't expect them to do. This includes going out in the street to break into shops, that is robbery, of course, use strikes, and all kinds of things. And of course, today with social media, the expressions of young people come out in different ways. So these are some of the challenges that you find with the youth. And the question is, what do we need to do to tackle them?